Welcome to Folding Towels, a podcast for massage therapists with Jackie and David. If you are enjoying our episodes and want to support the production, consider buying us a coffee. Your contributions help us bring you more insightful discussions and expert interviews. Follow the link in the show notes or visit buymeacoffee.com/Folding Towels podcast to contribute, and thank you for your support. Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Folding Towers podcast. Hello, Jackie.
Hi, David. How are you?
I am fabulous. We are in Melbourne right now.
We are Melbourne. Hello, everybody in Melbourne. We are so happy to be here. Guess what we're here for?
I don't know. Tell me.
We are here for Soft Tissue Congress, which is tomorrow, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to see everybody and to actually meet a couple of people in the flesh from Melbourne Institute of Massage and Myotherapy, or as I call it, MIMT. MIMT. We love the guys from MIMT. Love you all.
Jackie and I don't sit in the same room as each other very often. Mostly we are meeting over the Zooms. So it took us flying to Melbourne to sit in the room together. We are sitting in our hotel room. And we have a episode today, which is around, you know what, sometimes as therapists, we just don't get things right, and someone might have a bad experience with us.
Yes, and this episode, it has come about because David and I gossiped for the whole flight here, and I told him some things that had happened to me recently. So you're welcome, David.
You know, one of the consequences of working by yourself and then working in massage is that you don't talk with people very often. So I was very excited to sit next to you today, Jackie, and chew your ear off.
It was really good. It was so good to see you in person and to actually have, we had a couple of hours talk. Well, we've had multiple hours talking because there was before the plane, on the plane, driving to the hotel, and now doing this. So yeah. It's been great.
So one of the, I guess the personality flaws of many massage therapists is that, and this is not unique to you and I either, Jackie, is that we just want to be loved by everyone.
Yes.
And this is simply not a fact that can be upheld at all times. And so when you do get it wrong, it sometimes feels like a bit of a kick in the guts.
What is that saying? You can be the tastiest, juiciest peach ever, but there will be someone that just doesn't like peaches.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
I don't know why. I'm full of fruit analogies today, but I just am. It's funny.
Well, this can come about in many different ways. And Jackie's going to share a story. I've got a story, and then we're going to tell a story together about what we just witnessed today as well.
Oh yeah.
We've got we've got the story of how not to do things. But you know, clients don't always know what they want or what they're actually asking for. As a remedial therapist or as a massage therapist, we've got our own language. Someone might say, I want deep tissue massage. Do they actually know what that means? Or they might say they want a sports massage, or they're coming in for lymphatic massage or myofascial work, and they've seen something perhaps on the internet, or they don't know why. They've just heard it might be a good thing, or they don't give us information on our intake forms. Lots of stuff can go on here.
This is one of the downsides or negatives, I guess, of seeing things on social media, because there are different modalities that are not happening here in Australia and vice versa. And people will sometimes, I don't know if other therapists have had it already, but Dave and I have both experienced this, that people have said to us, oh, I've seen XYZ on a TikTok reel or a Facebook reel. And we're just like thinking straight away, no, that's not really a thing. That's not how you do it. But the client has the expectation that they want this particular modality, or they expect it to be done a certain way. And that's just not what we do currently in Australia. So yeah, clients can have expectations that are really far out of what might actually be available in their local area. Doesn't really matter where you live.
Well, they see that you're a massage therapist. They've seen massage on the internet and think that all massage therapists work exactly the same. They have seen some guy with their elbow drilled into their buttocks and think, that's exactly what I want and need today. And that's not the style of massage that you do.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't even know where to start with this whole conversation, David.
And then we get like, oh, the other episode we've talked with Chantel Ryan and talking about endorsing of therapeutic goods, and you get a rando with a degree in life just saying, I've just had the most wonderful lymphatic session and it's so good for my detoxification as I have this with my bubble tea. And this person comes in, presents, and you're like, well, I'm trained in Vata style and you don't fit the criteria. They don't know why it's important to share information. And it's up to us to drag that information out of them so that we can deliver the best possible treatment, one which is going to closely resemble what they are wanting, if that is safe for us to do and safe for them, and one which is ethically in the client's best interests.
I think we all have stories from clients where it'll be the third or fourth appointment, or you might have even been seeing them for 6 or 7 months. And then they go, oh yeah, I had heart surgery or a full knee replacement 2 years ago or something. Like just something that you might have needed to know a little bit more closer to the first appointment.
Yeah.
They either forget, which, you know, that happens. You do forget about certain things, or you just think, oh, it's not really relevant. I mean, how do you know what's relevant to tell your massage therapist? You don't have to tell them everything.
Well, I was getting some physiotherapy for a shoulder injury recently, and they've taken my history. Like, have you ever injured your shoulder? I'm thinking recently. Have I injured it recently? I think this is a build-up injury, and it's only partway through the session. Oh yeah, I dislocated that shoulder 30 years ago. It's inherently unstable. Like, well, that would have been useful to know.
Can I tell you something funny about my husband? Hopefully he doesn't hate me for this. I'll ask him in a minute if this is okay to share. He forgot very recently that he has previously had a colonoscopy.
That's pretty hard to forget.
He's completely forgotten. He told his doctor, no, I've never had a colonoscopy before. And he told me this, and I just laughed my head off. I'm like, I remember driving you to the appointment and picking you up afterwards. I can tell you what I was probably wearing on the day.
Had he been euthanized for the... No, sorry. Anaesthetized for the colonoscopy?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I just dropped him off and, picked him back up, whatever it was, 4 hours later or something. Oh. It was so funny. And I reminded him of this, and then it's about 2 hours later, he's gone, oh, yeah, I remember that now. He had just completely forgotten all about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you forget a colonoscopy? I haven't had one yet, and I'm terrified of actually having one.
I think I'd do my best to try and forget it as well. Mind you, I think I'd want to watch. I would like to see my villi and see if I've got a...
Oh, watch the video.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see if my internals are as pretty as I'd like them to be.
Oh my goodness. Should you have gone to medical school, David?
I don't know, but I think I'd also like the praise of, yeah, you've prepped really well. This is like a really clean colon. Like, yeah. Do I get brownie point? No, or do I get a medal for that?
No. You can get medals and trophies for yourself. Did you know that? That's the thing. You can actually go to the trophy store and organise yourself something. As an adult, you can do that if you want to.
I guess I could. And there's that whole thing about participation awards with children, but as someone who runs, I'm there for the participation medal. The finisher medal.
We've gone way off topic.
Why don't you share your story with us, Jackie?
Okay, all right. So this is really why we're doing this episode today, because I was telling David this story on the plane earlier, and what happened was I had a new client come in. First time meeting them, they filled out their intake form beforehand because it's all electronic and nothing really substantial on there, but they were coming for a lymphatic massage appointment. And as I always do, I asked them multiple questions. Have you had any massage before? Have you had lymphatic before? Do you have any specific concerns? What are they? What issues are you having? Yada, yada, yada. All of these questions, tons of questions. And so that is so I know exactly what areas to treat and all of these things. Anyway, she was pretty healthy, no obvious signs of lymphedema or any edema really at all, no real health concerns whatsoever. And so we talked quite a bit. We did the appointment, did the massage session, and then did the payment. And as she was leaving, she has said to me, "When do you think I should see the results?" And my heart just dropped to the floor, and I thought, oh, she's come here for like weight loss or something of that nature. And she was like, 30s, young, slim, like she wasn't obese. She did not have any edema whatsoever. And I just remember thinking, she is not happy with this session, because the way she walked in, she was really excited. She was happy. When your clients are just really keen to have the appointment and get on the table. And then she left, and I could tell that her attitude had shifted even as she got up off the table, and was like, we were ending the session. And so I then, the next day, got an email from her saying how disappointed she was with the session for multiple reasons. Not just that, like with anyone that knows anything about the lymph system knows that generally speaking, you will have an increase in your urine output after a session. Hopefully that's kind of, I guess, part of the goal. And she says to me, I didn't do any extra urination, like nothing. I was expecting there to be results and nothing has changed. And so I just really had to sit with that for a little while and then email her back very politely. And she was very polite in her email. She wasn't aggressive or rude or anything like that. She just was letting me know the feedback and how disappointed she was. And she's well within her rights to do that. So long as she's being kind about it, I guess. But it was just a little disheartening. For a few minutes, I was a little bit upset, and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But then I analysed what she'd said in the email and addressed in a return email to her, point 1, point 2, point 3, so to speak. And I realised that she had not been quite clear with me what she actually wanted, because she had no swelling. There was no fluid there to really shift. There was nothing obvious, and nothing under the skin that I could feel. And I explained all that in the reply email to her, and yeah, so that's like my whole story.
So how do you come back from that? Are you likely to see this person again?
I honestly don't know. At the end of the email, I said to her, if you would like to come back for another appointment, I will make sure that, a couple of points that she wanted addressed were addressed. I sort of responded to specific complaints that she had, and I said, we will fix that for next time if you decide to come back. And in my discussion with you, David, I said to you that if she had said to me, I will never be coming back, I might have replied, well, if you are looking for more lymphatic sessions, I can refer you to a couple of other people, that sort of thing. So I don't know if she will come back. I think my reply was very good. It was direct, but it was also kind. I apologized a couple of times, and I said, I'm really sorry that I did not meet your expectations and that you were so disappointed. So anything's possible. I kind of hope she does, in a way.
Yeah, I think it's worth keeping in touch with her.
Yeah, maybe. She was very lovely, but I do think that her expectation of the session was way off what could happen. And that's probably partly my fault for not explaining that for the lymphatic system, it's often a lifetime of appointments. if you have an issue with your lymph system, it's not one and done. I mean, massage is never one and done anyway, but I think she kind of had that expectation that she would just, maybe she felt like her legs were really fat or arms were really puffy or something, and she could sort of get rid of that overnight.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, that sounds like liposuction. Is what you're wanting to investigate liposuction, maybe?
That whole one and done mentality is really horrific. You
Yeah.
look on any of the social medias with the really charismatic therapists who are doing the whole, this person came in to see me for one session, they've left cured. Now, that word cure is a real trigger word.
Oh, no.
We cannot use that word at all. And just the other day, I was looking at somebody's social media reel showing buccal massage, which is really raising in popularity at the moment, particularly in the wellness scene. And the words of this, here we are massaging the jaw and the mouth and releasing a lifetime of trauma. And again, like, trauma is one of those trigger things of just don't make false claims. Understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Understand the lane that you swim in. Don't make false claims, and don't prey on people who are vulnerable.
There are some words that people should be very careful using, and trauma is one of them. Honestly, very careful.
Yeah, we know that the jaw and the face can store the impacts of trauma, and working with those areas can be a very powerful thing, and it can also be a very dangerous thing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I upset a client once as well. This is going back a few years.
Only once, David?
Oh, look, it's happened a few times, but in this specific instance, this person who can't come in, and one of the things I ask every client, even if they've seen me multiple times, why are you here today?
Yeah.
How can I help you today? And this person has gone on to tell me about how, my shoulder's a bit tense and my neck's a bit tense. This was their first appointment with me, by the way. They've come to see me because I'm a remedial massage therapist. And now I'm finding out that a lot of people come to see a remedial massage therapist so they can claim the appointment of their health fund, whether it's a remedial session or not. That's another story. But yes, I've come in to see you. You've got the sore neck and shoulder. So I've asked some questions about that neck and shoulder. How long, how often have you had massage for this before? What has happened? What are you feeling? Does it refer down into your hands? Blah, blah, blah. So you've taken quite a comprehensive history. I then talked to her about, as a remedial massage therapist, this is my toolkit. This is what today is likely to look like. These are the areas that I'd like to work with you today. Does that sound like it will meet your needs? So you're gaining consent, blah, 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 under the table. And do you have any questions? Performed the massage as per my recommendations, checked in with her along the way, get to the end of the session, and like, how are you feeling? Oh, look, my neck and my shoulder are feeling great, but really all I wanted today was to relax. I'm like, damn it. I asked so many questions, and she says, and now I'm feeling really agitated and upset. It's like, I asked so many questions, and not everyone is comfortable in taking control of their own health. Not everyone's comfortable in speaking up for themselves and advocating for themselves, and I missed it.
I would say that most people are terrible at that in some way, because many of us are taught to put our own needs second above our kids, our parents, our family, other things, and asking for help, asking for, like, do clients even know what they're asking for though, David? Like, yeah,
that's right.
Do they even know?
And we have our own language, and that language doesn't necessarily match our client's language either.
Well, this is where I think this is an ongoing issue that massage in Australia in particular, but I'm sure everywhere in the world, like, we have to make some changes. We have to really start educating our clients properly. And I know, like, the lady that emailed me, that client that came in, she sent me that email in the hope, she said in the email, I hope that you can make some changes going forward. And I thought, well, they're probably not the changes that you are thinking of, but I'm definitely making some changes going forward because this is actually good information that
Yeah.
you have given me, because you are telling me my expectation of the session and her expectation of the session were very different. So, yeah, I immediately, within a couple of hours of reading that email, I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I actually need to change my intake form. I need to change some of the questions that I'm asking my first time clients. I need to make some of these changes, and I need to do it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we should go on to how do we handle these things, because often, right, so first up, getting that feedback from that client, like my heart sank. Now you get that whole sick to the stomach feeling.
Oh, you do, yeah.
And my next person's coming in 15 minutes, and I've got to be at my best for that person.
I was so happy that she hadn't said anything to me immediately, because I probably would have just cried, David. And yes,
Yeah.
I had another client coming in. I'm glad it was the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to deal with that feedback sometimes.
Yeah, so we need to be brave enough to receive that feedback. Feedback is a gift, and particularly when it is given well, and this person wasn't nasty at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what next? What do we do next? And for this person, I immediately said, look, I've got some time tomorrow. I'd love to see you again. The next session will be at my expense. I'd love to see you and have the opportunity to make it right. Now, the person declined that. And then you go through the process of, are they going to leave me a bad review? Because that can be damaged. Let's catastrophize the situation.
That's very kind of you to offer that, though.
I think it's the right thing to do. I had a friend who worked in a cafe. People would come back and say this coffee wasn't to my preference. We've all got the way that we like our coffee, whether it's hotter than some or cooler than some, or a little bit stronger, a little bit weaker. And so the cafe's policy is that we just make them another coffee. But he said, why do they always wait until the coffee is completely gone from their cup? If they hated it so much, why did they drink the whole damn thing before they asked for their free coffee?
I think it's important to know that some people also do just like complaining.
Yeah, this is very true.
And that's probably a little bit more relevant with the food situation, with coffee and food. You do hear about that from the retail and food industries a little more. Maybe not so much with massage, but again, you could be the tastiest piece of fruit on the planet, and someone is going to go, ugh, fruit, gross. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't make everyone happy.
Well, part of my action was to put onto my massage intake form, and it's a question that I ask in person as well as having it on my form, is the questions of, have you had a massage before? Did the therapist do anything that you didn't like? And did they do things that you did like? Because I want to know if they've made a mistake with you. And the sort of things that come back on the form is the therapist talked too much, or they didn't check in with me, or they used too much pressure, or they didn't use enough pressure, or they did cupping when I didn't want cupping. So having that information is really important.
I'm just making a note for my list of things to change on my intake form, David, because that's a really good one. Honestly, that's really good.
But if someone's given us feedback, we should hear that feedback.
Yes.
We should acknowledge that feedback. We should thank them for that feedback, and we should tell them either, how can I make this better for you, or this is what I'm going to do to make things right moving forward.
That's really good advice, actually, because it can be really scary to give feedback to a business or to an individual. Like, to do it well is really hard. Constructive criticism and feedback is not something that a lot of people know how to do skillfully. So, yeah, it's a very brave thing if your client is standing there saying to you, especially if it's in person, saying, actually, I think that was not for me, and I think it could have been done slightly differently.
Yeah. And for someone who's starting to escalate, now we had a marvellous conversation with Laura Jane Layton just recently from the Laura Jane Layton show, who talked about changing your language. And years ago would have used the language of I'm sorry. But for someone who is getting frustrated with you to say thank you is really disarming. You can watch the wind go out of their sails, and then suddenly you have rapport. You can have a conversation with them again of how can I make this better? But if you can say, I'm sorry, sometimes that's all somebody wants to hear, and those can be important words. But if you then decide that you're going to enter into an argument with that person and get your heckles up, escalation,
Yeah.
you damage that relationship, and you probably damage it forever. And what do you think the person is going to talk about? Not how wonderful your space was or the types of things you did right. Don't go to see Jackie because I wanted her to touch my tummy and all she did was touch my butt.
Well, David, I don't know what your return rate is like, but there are people that come for 1 or 2 sessions and then don't go back.
That's quite normal.
They decide that you're not for them.
Well, that's all they want is 1 or 2 sessions.
Maybe.
Well, they've had their symptom relief.
Yeah.
They've not gotten better, so to speak, but their symptoms have decreased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't always get the feedback. Sometimes you're left wondering, well, how come my clients come for 1 or 2 sessions and then I never see them again? So sometimes feedback is really helpful.
Yeah. About years ago, I actually sent out a survey to people who hadn't rebooked, and I got a whole bunch of feedback.
Was any of it helpful, David?
Well, this was the chiropractor's office that I was working in.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people who had come to see me for I guess for that neuro D-stem, we can call it relax if you want, having a cafe on one side and the chiropractor with a drop table on the other side of my wall. And so you've got the bang of the chiropractor, sometimes and then the cafe was scraping chairs and the bang bang of the group head, and their music playing. It just wasn't the environment that was right for them. I had some employees working with me and I actually got feedback directly about those employees. Had a couple of people who just went, you know what, your style isn't for me. And that's a perfectly valid reason for not coming back.
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes it's good to know that is why they're not returning as well. Like, okay, that it's nothing personal. It's just that we don't gel well together for whatever reason. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Should we mention what happened when we got here today, David?
Yeah, we should. So we've just arrived at our accommodation. And we've came into some confrontation happening in the lobby.
Literally in the middle of a lady being upset about her accommodation and talking to the 2 ladies behind the desk.
Yeah.
In a fairly...
she was upset.
She was upset. She wasn't angry, but she was getting upset and her voice had risen a little.
And this is because the people behind the front desk, they're polite. But I don't think they were empowered to actually help her.
It did seem that way. Yeah, it did seem that way. And it didn't come to, a punch up or anything. She just told them how she was feeling, I guess, and what had happened.
And she left upset. As a person with some specific needs, has stayed at this accommodation before. Those needs had been met around access requirements and had requested these specific things for her next visit and was put into a room which did not meet those specific needs and made her life a bit shitter than it needed to be.
Yeah, which I guess you can understand because she probably deals with that a lot, I would imagine. I would imagine it's not the first time she's had this conversation with people generally. And
having people with a disability in my family, when you find somewhere that meets those needs, then you go back there because I found it. This place, I can get in there easily. I can do these things. The people take care of me. They understand.
That's always nice. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the trigger words, which when I heard them, I'm like, oh dear, you should not have said that. And it was, well, the person who took your booking doesn't work with us anymore.
Yeah.
This is a deflection and it's a blame.
Yes.
Blaming does not help the client.
It doesn't.
All it does is try to deflect the responsibility away from yourself and onto somebody else.
I think you can say that if you have a solution. If you can fix the problem if you can make things better or make it right. Like, but yeah, saying that is really not, it's kind of standing there and going, well, I didn't do it.
Well,
It's
my
not my
internal
problem.
response was, well, how does that help me today?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And all it takes is for you to then to say, well, okay, well, what are your specific needs? Okay, the room that you're in doesn't meet those needs. We've got a room which might be a bit closer. Okay, it doesn't do these things, but what can I find for you? Let me help you with a solution. All we need is a solution. You're here now. You can't go anywhere else. How can I make this as good as possible?
Yeah.
Won't be perfect, but as good as possible to help you today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And that level of I can't think of the word now.
Care.
Care is a good one. It builds rapport. It helps to mend relationships. And when you've made that mistake and you have found a great solution for that person, you make a client for life.
Yes, absolutely. And that was for me, David, and you probably had this as well, I think in our industry, because it is such a personal service that we are offering. There is so much trust involved in most of our services. We should look at it from, okay, I'm going to take a little step back from the emotion of this. Oh my God, this person has found fault with what I do. When I put my heart and soul into it, I'm so upset right now. But take that step back and go, okay, what can I actually take from this new information that this client has given me? And how can I use this information to make everyone's experience better? And again, sometimes you just have to accept that you cannot make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might have caught somebody on just a really, really bad day.
It's the final straw.
It could have just been the final straw in everything going wrong in their life.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just don't know how to ask for a hug.
Yeah.
And all they really need is a hug.
And with that, we're often not good at dealing with conflict either.
Oh, God, yes.
And someone's in your face and they're being upset. And your tools are limited.
Yes.
Your emotional tools are limited. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, because you might be having a bad day too.
And it takes a great deal of maturity.
It does. It does.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. All right. So sometimes we don't get things right. Even when Jackie and I are quite experienced therapists, sometimes we'll make a mistake too.
Oh, just about every day of the week.
But the important thing is that you can recover from it. You can make that person's experience a good one. And maybe, just maybe, we can be friends.
Well, I still have hope that my client might come back. Like, I kind of hope that maybe she will, maybe.
Yeah. Well, before we sign this out, as I have another thought, we did speak with Chantel Ryan the other day, and we've spoken with Anne Davies from Massage and Myotherapy Australia, and both of them have talked about the importance of having a refund policy. And these are examples where someone, if you haven't performed the service that someone is expecting, they are in their rights to ask for a refund. And you need to have a policy and a procedure about that. Because if you don't, and maybe internally you're thinking, well, why didn't you speak up on the table? Because I didn't know, and I asked you and I gave the opportunity. So no, I'm not giving you a refund. If you don't have a policy which states that, then you just have to give a refund because Australian consumer law says that. And this is why you need a policy and a properly written one so that you've got a fallback position and say, here is my policy. I'm so sorry you've had the experience. These are the things that I did which were within your best interests, and you didn't do those things. If you didn't do those things, you didn't ask in, you don't know why they're there, blah, 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 all the things of just get on the table, let's have a massage, and it's a crap one, well, you have to pay out that money.
That is such an important point. Having these policies, having these specific protocols really can save you a lot of trouble. And look, sometimes I think it's just better if somebody asks for a refund just to wear it.
Yes.
And just give them their money back and be done with it. And then if anything further happens, if they happen to do a bad review for you, you can say, you asked for the refund, I returned the refund. I'm so sorry that you were not happy. it's because of XYZ or whatever, and like you've just done your best, because sometimes that's all you can do as well.
I'll give you one more story and then we'll sign this out.
Okay, tell me.
Some years ago, sorry if you were hoping for a shorter episode.
David was.
Thank you for listening. I'll just change the language. Thank you for listening and putting up with us, but you may find this helpful.
What do you mean putting up with us? They love us.
Years ago, I used to use a virtual reception service, and this was an amazing thing to have at the time until something went wrong. And having the virtual reception service, I used to get a lot of phone calls for people wanting bookings. I don't anymore, because online bookings is just so easy and so commonly accepted now. But I used to get phone calls, and when you massage and you come out from treatment, there's 3 missed calls. Having that answering service and access to my diary, I'd just come out and see that the virtual reception service had booked people in. So I worked across 2 locations. I've turned up to work, and there is a email from this service documenting this heated conversation that they'd had with a brand new client of mine. They had taken a booking. They had confirmed verbally the day and the week. And I can see this booking in my diary for next week, but they confirmed it verbally for this particular day. And I can see in the notes that they had confirmed the date and the time. I'm at one location, they'd gone to the other at a date and time that I didn't work at that location. And this person had rung back to give this person quite a serve. And my first knowledge was the email. So I've called the person back, and he's really teed off at me, really upset, got quite verbally abusive, as it was an appointment for his son. And it's like, right, I'm sorry that you've had this experience. I want to make this right. I will make a special time for your son to come in and see me. It will be at no charge, because the first experience that you have just had with my business was a bad one. I don't want you to have that experience. And he tried to tee off at me again. It's like, no, I've heard you and I will be taking action on that. Thank you for your feedback. I want to make this right. When is the next available time that your son can come in? Whether I'm available usually or not, I will make myself available. It will be at no cost. Wind went out of his sails. I treated his son. It was the only time I saw him. That was fine. The important thing is that if you were to talk about my business, at least there is a positive there. Something crap happened. David took action. Things have been made as right as they possibly can under the circumstances. Hope he's happy. I hope he's happy.
Yeah, wow.
And I fired the reception service.
I remember that happening. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah. Yeah, having a reception service was quite the rage for a while. I know some people still use them, yeah.
Yeah, this place has had a lot of turnover. They started out very, very good, and then more and more mistakes were coming in where they were just booking people at times which weren't available in my diary.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and that was the final straw for me.
That's hard when someone else is making the mistake on your behalf. That's really tricky.
Hey, guess what happened?
What happened, David?
The owner of the reception service got angry with me.
What?
Yeah, I gave them some feedback. The feedback wasn't accepted, and that was for me, you know what, you've just made this decision even easier. I no longer need your services.
Oh my God,
Yep.
really? They were angry at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So did you call them to cancel, or did you email them?
I called.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel that feedback is best given verbally.
Wow, okay. I have to say I'm a fan of feedback by email, because then I can digest it in my time.
Yeah.
I find that helpful.
Yeah, I don't like receiving feedback by email.
Well, I don't like receiving feedback at all.
Yeah,
but
just come and talk to me. Just come and talk to me.
I suppose if it's not too bad, then yes. But that's hard, like firing a service that you're using as well.
Yeah.
That can be really tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you I think you stuck it out longer than you wanted to, I think, if I remember correctly.
I'd given them some email feedback and opportunities to correct, and then that was the final straw.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's wind the episode up, Jackie.
Whew. Client expectations. Whew.
Yeah. Expectation gap. Biggest reason for negative feedback.
For sure. For sure. I would invite everybody to have a little think about, are they meeting their clients' expectations at the moment?
Yeah. And
Are you talking about what you need to?
Yep. Go back and review your own procedures. Ask the right questions.
Yes.
You can do good things. Sometimes you won't get it quite right. And that's okay.
That's life, isn't
How
it?
you handle it is what matters.
That's life.
If you have been loving what we do on the Folding Towels podcast, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast so that you never miss an episode. Look out for us on Instagram and on Facebook, occasionally on Twitter, now on LinkedIn.
Yes, we have been posting to LinkedIn.
Yay.
I love that you can schedule stuff. So good.
And we'll see you the next one.
We will. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye for now.